Hey everybody, welcome to the final Celebrity Big Brother recap. I'm Brian. This is Ben. Ben, what'd you think of the episode?
I was certainly disappointed that my girl Ari couldn't pull it out, but I I'm happy that Marissa Jarrett Winokur could accidentally win Big Brother Celebrity.
You know what? She's the mastermind. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but really, I mean, I've been saying all season that I didn't think that Ross could win a jury vote, and this is
You were
pretty
right.
much evidence. Yeah,
You were very right because I didn't really think Marissa did much to win, but she did less to lose than Ross, so that's what was really important.
right. I'm very much. There's a lot of fans online, yelling "bitter jury" and all that garbage. And
Of course.
I don't know what like show they were watching because like Ross put on possibly like one of the worst jury management performances in the history of the show. So like he fully deserved this loss like to the core.
Yeah, I think we as a show were woke on this all the way back in the Shannon week. We were
Yeah, no,
like,
I
yeah,
said
yeah,
this from
Ross
like
is
week
gonna lose.
week two, like round two of the game. I said that Ross could not win.
Yeah, so even though I picked him to win, it doesn't make me feel bad that he lost because we knew this was gonna happen.
Yep. This was the best case scenario for Ross because like Ross wasn't going to bring Marissa. He was going to bring Mark and lose 9-0,
Oh
or maybe
my
8-1.
god, that would be so embarrassing.
But yeah, like this was actually the best case scenario for Ross, where Marissa wins the final HOH and takes him and has to evict the other two herself.
Mm-hmm.
And still, Ross only got two legitimate jury votes.
Jeez,
So
this is a very very bad turnout for Ross, and so I think James said that he changed his mind.
yeah,
It wouldn't have mattered anyways. Oh, goodness. Pardon me. It wouldn't have mattered anyways because she won by 2 votes, but kind of interesting. I didn't.
she won by 3 votes,
3 votes, right?
but she won by a 2 vote differential. Yeah, yeah, 2 vote
Um,
flip. Yeah.
I don't think that she really necessarily did anything terribly impressive in the jury speech, and I don't really know what he was talking about there.
No, I think he meant that Ross lost his jury vote with the speech.
Gotcha.
There was, if you were watching when he was talking about, beating the best and beating Meta
Mm,
and the whole arena competition.
yeah.
James kind of put on a weird look on his face because James very outwardly threw that competition to him,
Right. So
and
that's
so like
the
yeah,
that was the straw that broke the camel's back for James
right.
throughout.
Yeah, and I mean, you could see, Julie was trying to wrangle them like a second grade teacher, and that was her trying to wrangle Shannon and Omarosa, campaigning excessively hard for Marissa to win.
Yeah, Omarosa was not having that at all.
Yeah, so when you have two of the jury members who want you to lose so badly that they're just actively going against instructions from the host of the show in order to make sure that you lose. Like, don't come to me and say that Ross played the best game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Ross did not play the best game.
Right. He played the best game in terms of getting people out of the house, but not the best winning game.
But he didn't even do that. There were like 3 different circumstances throughout the season where Ross was nearly evicted, and then something crazy happened that was totally outside of his control, or he won a clutch comp and he wasn't evicted.
Right.
There was Ross played a game where 95 to 99% of the time he doesn't even make the end, and he got lucky, in my opinion.
I agree. Well, yeah, he had a lot of stuff falling away just to get here.
Right.
I guess you want to kind of take it from the top, go through the recap?
Yeah, sure. Start at the beginning.
Alright, so the very beginning, Ross cuts a deal with Mark to win the Final 5 HOH, nominates Omarosa and Ari, and then he crushes the veto competition.
Yep.
and keeps Omarosa and Ari on the block, and Omarosa goes at 2-0, which is, sad, but like we said last episode, she made it to every episode, so Big Brother got what they wanted.
And Ross, the greatest player of this season, excluding Shannon, of course, decides that Omarosa is the best person to evict and not Ari, who is going to win the jury vote against anybody, and who is who is planning on taking Mark to the end, from my understanding, instead of Omarosa, who he would have actually potentially had a chance to beat.
Right.
Maybe. I think Omarosa would have beat him, but
that would have been a great story.
He evicted. He wasn't the one casting the votes, but he was the one pushing for Omarosa to be evicted over Ari, which I think was a mistake, and that was his fourth mistake of the season out of 6 decisions.
Well, he tried his best. It didn't really, work, but he tried.
Well, it did. I mean, it almost worked.
Yeah.
Despite his best effort. But instead, it worked for Marissa despite her best effort.
Yeah, I wonder if they feel bad about, kind of making fun of her a lot during all those, pretty much any time someone would be talking about her and they'd cut back to her, it was, not flattering.
I mean, you mean the show or the players?
Show.
Yeah, well, I mean, the show, the edit on the show has been pretty imbalanced in my opinion. I mean, they didn't. I've been preaching for Ari this whole season, and I don't think they showed much of the things that Ari did to get herself so far in the game. And they obviously painted Ross as the fan favorite mastermind, because he did win the fan favorite somehow. I don't know how that happened.
I'm shook. I really thought James was gonna win the fan favorite.
Maslow army shook.
I should have been voting. I don't know what happened.
Oh, did you not vote?
I don't know. I'm not part of the Maslow army.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I mean, I voted. I didn't vote for James, but I voted. I didn't vote for Ross either. Oh yeah, of course.
She was a standout, and she was in the top 3, right?
Or no, nope, it was Shannon and James.
Yikes!
Yep.
I'm sorry.
She was in the top 2 of every poll that I saw.
Yeah, well, that's the thing that you can't take into consideration what the people online are thinking.
Yeah, it's all the cat ladies.
Yeah, they love Ross apparently.
Yeah.
So he gets $100,000 at the end of the day.
Was it really 100,000? I wasn't paying attention at that point. After I heard that
50K for 25.
Oh, for
25.
Oh, so he got 75K. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I'm very tired.
No, that's fine.
So yeah, then we move on to the final HOH. The really, really dumb twist. I think that we've established that.
Yep.
And it's actually pretty funny because Marissa has a 1-question lead from the jump, and she blows it on the last question. We go to a tiebreaker, and Marissa thinks she lost, and then she won. So it was a really funny, reaction by her.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster of emotion.
Oh my god, yes! And then Mark and Ari were just yeah, so we're fucked. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. The thing is, I don't think that Mark said anything, but I don't know why he wouldn't have just went up to Marissa and said, "Hey, just so you know, Ross was planning on taking me to the end."
Yeah, just try to bamboozle her right at the very end.
Right. I don't know whether she would have believed him.
Probably not.
But yeah, probably not.
Let's be real.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what she thinks about that when she gets out of the game, to see that Ross wasn't planning on taking her.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yep.
So Mark and Ari are out. They become the final 2 members of the jury. Oh man, sorry again. Very tired. Oh goodness, sorry. So you get the final 2 members of the jury. We bring out everyone else, including Chuck, who at this point is vaguely involved with the show.
Yeah.
He was on the show. I don't understand why the gave him a jury vote because he was barely on it, but it's fine. We needed that one-person jury because we only had the one prop for the jury vote.
Well, I mean, they weren't taking into account that Meta wanted to vote for either Orwell or Shannon, though, so that would have evened back out.
True. Do you think he really just threw the vote in for whoever?
It looked like it.
That's really funny. It's so fucked up, but really funny.
Yeah.
Classic Shannon. Not classic Meta, goodness. Shannon, speaking of her, she was salty.
Yeah, and for good reason.
Right.
There's a lot of people online that are dragging her, saying, "Oh, she's a super fan. She should know to vote for the person who played the best game." But from Shannon's perspective, Ross didn't play the best game because Ross's game was making a terrible decision and trying to backdoor her when it was against his best interest, lying about it to her, and then pretending like it was her fault when he was actually being misled by Brandy and Ari. So from her perspective, he was tricked into making a terrible decision, voted her out, lied about it to her face for no reason, and blamed it on her, and then pretended like that wasn't a lie, even though it was when she confronted him about it. So
yeah, I mean, Ross just gas. He did this to everyone who he turned on. It's just some real gaslighting,
right?
Going on.
And
it was bad.
Yeah, and when the people can't just go and verify that you were totally bullshitting them for no reason because they have the ability to just go watch the show or the feeds, then that's possibly you could get away with that. But I mean, Ross knew that the jury wasn't sequestered, so either he legitimately believed his extravagant unbelievable lies, or he totally misunderstood how a jury vote works. I don't understand.
I mean, it's highly possible that he just convinced himself that no, this is the truth.
Yeah,
he just kept telling himself it's the truth.
I mean, it seemed to be what Marissa also did, but Marissa was a lot less active in participating in those lies.
Yeah, so we get to the jury vote, and Marissa, she wins with a final score of 63. So, really, it was 6-2 with a random, chance vote thrown in there for Ross.
Right.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
So
the way...
Yeah. No, you go.
The way that I look at this is, Ross and Marissa were both actively making decisions to, hamper their own game. But, Ross was much more active in the decision-making in the game. And so people outside who, aren't, super paying, fine attention to all of the decisions and all of the lies and everything, that looks like Ross is playing harder, which he was. It looks like he's playing better, which is debatable. And it looks like he deserved to win because he was the one that was pulling all of the strings. Right. But he was pulling all of the strings in the wrong direction. Who really deserves the kind of the accolades? If there's a terrible puppet show, right, and the puppet master is pulling all of the strings the wrong way and it looks awful, right? Do you blame the puppet master or do you blame the puppet?
Oh, all right. So that's pretty harsh, but I understand where you're coming from.
Right. I mean, it's when one person is making active decisions and they're making all of the active wrong decisions, and one person is not making active decisions, then one person is in the negatives and the other person is at 0. 0 is still better than negative, whatever.
Yeah, no, I know exactly. Sometimes in these games, it's just easier to vote for the person who kind of betrayed you or made you feel bad the least.
Right.
And that was Marissa. And so I guess as a BB historian, where does Marissa kind of come down as an all-time winner for you?
Oh, very, very, very low.
maybe the lowest.
Um, I don't know if because it's very hard to compare the like Celebrity Big Brother season to other seasons,
Right.
but yeah, I mean she's like not a strong winner, not a strong winner at all. She like actively tried to lose the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like she took Ross with the intent of losing to Ross.
Right.
So like it's hard to say that Marissa is like a good or satisfying winner, but I also wouldn't have found Ross to be a good or satisfying winner. So
What a mess.
yeah, no, legitimately, I went in and I was like, okay, I think Ari or Mark are probably gonna win based off of like the potential outcomes with the way that the comp falls.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was only going to happen if Marissa won the final HOH, which I thought was the least likely outcome.
Right.
Like I thought
Here
that,
we are.
yeah. So like if Mark or Ross had won the final HOH, then I think Mark wins the game, and if Ari had won the final HOH, I think Ari wins the game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
man, what a weird season.
yeah, this is a very very weird season. He had 3 people actively trying to lose the game, and one of them won the game.
Oh man. So I guess after all this, was the season as a whole good or not for you?
I think the season as a whole was good.
Right.
I think the ending left much to be desired, but I mean, I think a good season with a bad ending is much better than a bad season with a good ending, aka BB19.
But yes.
Like I would much rather rewatch this season than rewatch BB19.
Yeah. Plus, it was really short.
Right. I mean that works. Yeah. But like I would rather watch 5 to 10 random episodes of this. I don't even know if there were 10. I think there were more than 10 episodes. Yeah, I'd rather watch like 10 episodes of this season than 10 episodes of BB19.
Would you, in terms of alternative BB seasons, is this better than OTT for you?
It's probably, yeah. I mean, I think I liked OTT a lot more than most of the fans did. But I mean, OTT had like a lot of issues, but OTT also did a lot of things right that people don't like to talk about. So
people just don't want to talk about it. I think with that season especially is just the meanness of it, really.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that is against OTT, other than like the weird terrible format, is just the kind of meanness with the players in the house and with the fan base outside.
Yeah,
and that's kind of hard to overlook.
If nothing else, this season didn't tear the fan base apart and cause Jordan Parhar to quit podcasting. Well, I guess that was kind of BB Can 5 as well, right?
Yeah, I think it was more BB Can 5. But, I mean, I think it was a lot more to do with, like, personal stuff as well.
But BBOTT didn't help.
Yeah, I mean, BBOTT didn't help a lot of people.
Certainly not Jason. From beloved, like, underdog, oh man, he could have been great character, to, like, pretty hated.
Yeah, to losing a vote by America.
Oh, God. How embarrassing. But you know what? He only had 40,000 Twitter followers going into the House, and James had 3 million, and he lost a vote in America, too, so...
Well, I think that maybe a lot of James Maslow's fans were jaded by them picking the wrong veto option, and so they were like, "Well, we don't want to screw this up again, so we're just not going to vote."
Yeah, do you think my predictions are wrong? Where I was like, I think they'll figure this one out. You think they still didn't?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very confused. I don't. There's a lot of people online there saying they like just hand it to Ross and it was rigged, but I don't want to immediately jump to that, obviously. But it's very strange that James Maslow's fans could like accidentally carry the veto power twist vote, but they can't on purpose carry the like fan favorite vote.
Yeah, maybe they were like worried about Ross's ego.
Possibly, or maybe just because like not as many casual fans voted for the veto twist thing, and so they were able to carry it more. Whereas like the America's Favorite Player is a lot more straightforward.
Man, I don't Could be
Yeah,
anything.
whatever.
um, so would you want another Celebrity Big Brother season?
Yeah, I'd be very happy with another Celebrity Big Brother season. I think this went pretty much as well as this exceeded my expectations, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I really enjoyed this season for what it was. Anytime we can get more Big Brother, I'm here for it. I needed somewhat of a palate cleanser from BB19, and I feel like this was good enough for now.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully,
And it's
BB Can will continue the positive trend.
yeah. I mean, we got like a kind of a little sneak peek of four of the cast members.
Yes.
One of them is like a pretty well known member of the BB fan community. So
that's fun. It's always
yeah.
cool when that people that you tangentially recognize from the community of these shows get on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's especially fun when they do really bad.
Are you throwing additional shade at Jordan Parr?
I would never.
I love JP.
Yeah.
His eviction is one of the two good things about BB Can 3. Nah.
Oh boy.
Nah, I love Big Brother Canada, and I can't wait for season 6.
Yeah, we should say that we will be back for BB
Yeah.
Canada, continuing this show. It was definitely an experiment to see kind of how people would react, and I think it's been generally positive, and it's been really fun to do. So why not?
Yeah, for sure. It'll probably be one, maybe two of these a week instead of like in this case it was probably like what 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I have high hopes. The theme for BB Can 6 seems to be heaven and hell. There's speculation that there'll be kind of a split house sort of thing, almost like an opposite worlds. You know,
this is the best reality TV show that ever happened.
Right.
There was never a problem with it. Everything went well.
Yeah, it was a perfect season of reality television.
For those of you who don't know about Opposite Worlds, there's some great videos out there that you can watch that explain why Opposite Worlds is maybe the worst thing that ever happened to reality TV competitions.
Well, I mean, that would have, for it to have been the worst thing, like, people would have had to have watched it, so.
Oh, well, we watched it. We were there.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't watch every episode, but I was there.
I, unfortunately, watched every episode.
I can't even imagine. We should have been podcasting about Opposite Worlds, man.
Yeah, we should do maybe a 5-year retrospective or something.
And
I think it's coming up.
Just submit our applications for season 2.
For season 2, yeah.
With our open page that still exists. Oh man! All right, so that could be kind of interesting. Heaven and hell, split house. I will say I don't love the idea because it does remind me of Opposite Worlds, and Opposite Worlds is so bad.
Yeah, there's also apparently I've only watched some of the clips of it pre BB Can 4, but Tim Dormer's season of Big Brother Australia apparently had a split house thing, and that's generally considered the best season of that show.
Gotcha.
So it can definitely lead to positive things.
You know what would make the show good again? It would redeem it if they gave us Frank the Tank on BB Can.
Is he eligible? I guess they do an international twist, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Listen, who cares if he's eligible or not? All I care about is good TV.
I'm beast my Frank.
He breaks the goddamn house down.
Yeah, he's he is purgatory.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, we've really diverged from the topic.
Hey, it wasn't that good. Finale was very disappointing. So what do you want from us?
Yeah, we had even the final HOH was pretty boring. I got I was playing along on the couch and I got every question right. So suck it, Final Four. I would have beat you.
The last question for the competition, my stream just like glitched super hard. So like the audio was coming in, but it was showing like a different question. And I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. And I believe two of the questions, the answer was predicated on Brandy not having won a competition.
Right.
So that's fun.
That's fun. You know, were two of them James and Brandy?
Maybe. I know at least one of them was.
Yeah.
Now, see, now this is a question I would have gotten wrong.
Right. I think it may have only been one, and then my stream switched and like played that one again with the wrong audio under it.
Right.
Which is
the issue for me with that competition was just that it was too easy to use process of elimination. Mm-hmm. So like even if you weren't 100% right, it was very easy to guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so. I think the James and Brandy one was especially like really easy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was you know what? It's better than the final part of the HOH comp that's usually there.
Yeah, I guess because this one you could actually study for, right?
Yeah, you could actually like have a better than a coin flip chance at doing it.
But it still did come down to 3 of the 4 of them basically rolling a dice to see who would win.
Listen, I'm about equal opportunity, not outcome. They all had the same opportunity, even if the outcome wasn't great.
Right. But I mean, that's why I was kind of getting back to like the questions being too easy. Because like, you know, even like I mean, I love Ari, but like Ari has been very bad at these like memory competition things.
Yeah. Well, and it's gonna be hard. She's not. Yeah. It's not her first language.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Like it's not like perhaps if it was in her first language, it'd be easier for her to remember anything. But you think she's like hearing the question, like translating it in her own head, and then having to like come out with another answer to that question. It's gonna be a little tough.
Right, especially when there's like 4 pieces of information being thrown at her at once.
Yeah. So I don't really hold that against her too much.
Yeah.
I can play in another language, so more power.
No, I could not either.
And she did so great, and she was really beloved by the fans. So
yeah,
that's all that really matters for Ari. So her career has been redeemed from the Steve Harvey incident.
They should put her on Big Brother 20 is all I'm saying.
I think she's going to be in movies and stuff.
Well, I mean, listen, gotta have our priorities straight.
I wouldn't even be surprised if like Mark came back for BP20.
Yeah, I mean, Mark, based off of like how things would bounce out more often than not, Mark should have won this season.
Right. Mark is a lock any season to come in 4th, at least.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to get rid of him. He's not aggressive. Yep. Like, you're just going to bring him along and vote him out 4th.
Just going to bring him along and then bring him to the end when he's probably going to beat you.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That would have been really funny. Because, like, people gave him so much shit, I feel like, online. For not really playing.
Right.
Then he would have won. Oh, it would have been delicious.
Yeah, I mean, I even though, like, I was very aware of the fact that Mark was in a great position to win, I also gave him shit. So, yeah.
What do you have?
No, Mark was the Josh that this season deserved.
He should have slammed pants together more.
True, yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Do you have anything else you'd like to add to the episode?
No, I mean, I'm like, despite the ending, I'm pretty happy with how the season went. I think that got a lot of good moments. The feeds were fantastic. There was some great casting choices that were made, like Omarosa and Brandy, were like just fire dynamite feeds. So hopefully they have learned something from the decisions they made in casting, and apply that to Big Brother 20.
Yes, I can't wait for Paul to be back again. It's been too long.
Please don't even put that in the universe.
Your boy, he's coming back in the house, Ben.
I I I probably would. I don't even want to think about that as an option. I like even as a joke that like is painful.
Sometimes the truest words hurt the most.
Yeah.
We know that BB just loves Paul so much.
Well, I mean, we could get well. Here's something else that was a positive about Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother. One, Paul was not on this season.
I do recall him being on the first episode.
Well, he was not a player on this season. And two, more importantly, Frankie Grande was not a cast member on Celebrity Big Brother. Let's all remember that when we take a look at this finale.
You know what? It would have been like too canon breaking, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know, like, I feel like Big Brother's like, no, you're not like a celebrity, you're just like a player to us. You know, like, regardless of what you are in the real world. So I feel like if they brought him on, and it would just like open up a can of worms.
Yep,
like,
as long as they keep him.
Any former Big Brother player on and call them a celebrity.
Right.
You know.
I mean, I wouldn't have been upset if they did that with like Dan or Dr. Will, but you know, just saying.
That would have been really fair.
Well, no, because they would have to beat the greatest Big Brother player of all time, Shannon Elizabeth.
That's
so
true. It wouldn't have happened. So
yeah.
As we all know, Shannon is our winner.
Right.
Why do they keep saying that shit, Ben? That annoys me really bad.
Well, I mean, at first I thought that it was just kind of like them doing a bad job at pandering for a jury vote, but they did it after the votes had been cast. They kept on doing it. So like either it's just reflex at this point, or like they are that unself-aware. I don't know.
If I was Shannon, I'd be like, "This is just insulting."
Yeah, it's like super condescending. Yeah. It's just like.
It's like we all know I was the third boot. You can stop.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It feels kind of like, you know, like your teacher or something is like being like, oh, this was you did a very good job answering that question. It's like, oh, well, I mean, I totally bullshitted it. I know that I didn't. So like, I know what you're saying is total crap. So right. I guess is.
I'm glad that Meta stayed true to his character for this finale.
Yeah. No, that was fantastic.
What was going on, but he also didn't care to learn what was going on.
Well, he did ask for clarification before like voting randomly.
Right. He asked for clarification, and he's like, "I don't care, actually. We wasted some time clarifying. I'm just gonna drop whichever one in here."
And Ross and Marissa's face during that was amazing because they were both like, "Oh my god, this vote's gonna be so close! Please, no, Meta, no."
Meta is like the same person. That didn't affect him at all.
Yeah,
they're like they're really important to them, and he's like, "Man, I don't care."
Like you could see both of them like in their brains being like, oh my god, if I lose this with a 5-4 vote because Meta voted for somebody randomly, I can't even.
But unfortunately it wasn't the case. Thank you, James, and I guess whoever else.
Chuck.
Yeah,
I guess.
Chuck.
And mostly James. Yeah, mostly James.
Yeah, Chuck, who knew so much about what was happening.
Yeah, Chuck did a very good job of doing what Shannon told him.
Just crushed it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm exhausted, so I need to take off. Congratulations, Marissa. Ross, sucks to be you, I guess. You know, you're still a celebrity, so that's cool. And Meta World Peace never change.
Yeah, agreed.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Good night.
Thanks for watching.